Polaris recording studios here in Windsor. Amazing things going on. We have a new uplifting team. We have a great couple projects that we're releasing this year, and super stoked to have you guys come along for the ride.
Polaris was started by my Uncle George almost 40 years ago. He built this place from the ground up as a recording studio. It's one of the longest running studios in Windsor. Polaris started out as strictly an analog recording studio, and we still have some of that very rare analog gear here that you can't find in most studios, which makes Polaris a very unique place to record at. But we also stayed up to date with all the new technology, and we can record in full. We have Pro Tools HD and everything else you would need to record a professional digital sounding record. But I think the best way to go about it nowadays is to mix analog and digital, and then you get just a superior product.
My name is Mike McCallum. I am the monitor engineer for Big Sean and also a mixing / tracking engineer here at Polaris. I've been here for about 3 years now. Kind of grew up playing in bands and singing musicals and stuff, and when I found sound, everything kind of opened up and changed, and I found this whole new art form, and I just, got really into it. I was trained at OEArt in London. I studied music production, live, and for film. And when I came back to Windsor, I met up with Joe and found this place, and my life's never been quite the same.
Hey, I'm Cody Weldon. I'm the head tracking engineer and mixing engineer here at Polaris Recording Studios. I've been working here. I started out as an intern, just like every other studio junkie, for about 3 years straight, and now I'm finally certified and ready to work here. I've been involved with the industry since even before I started working here, involved with the local music theater scene, involved with all sorts of stuff all the way up to Toronto even. Here we've got a really unique set of equipment that you really can't get anywhere else, and at the helm of this is an original Quad 8 console that George installed, I believe, when he started it 40 years ago. And it's one of only 4 consoles in the world. So you get this unique preamp sound that literally cannot be found anywhere else. What that means is that it translates your sound, this idea that you've got in your head, and gives it the pristine analog sound through these digital converters that we have that are just absolutely amazing. And we have full control over it in the digital domain. We all believe that it is the way to get professional, industry standard recording.
We recently did a few upgrades along with the outside of the building. Now the vibes start from the outside in. So it's amazing to be on this journey and see from 40 years ago where we evolved from straight analog to using the best analog and digital together, forming one unit, and it gives us a richer sound, richer quality. Basically, a little bit about me. I do a lot of the mastering and final mixes, so I'll come in at the end, do my little magic on the end of the tracks after the guys have been working hundreds of hours, and put a little automation to it so I'm not partial to the tracks and have no bias to them. I just use my ears, use my tools, and dial right in. So a little bit about what I've done in the past. I've recently released, we're releasing an Ashley McIsaac album. I'm on the road with different artists all over the world. Hip hop, R&B, gospel, the works. I do front of house for Big Sean. I've done quite a bit of artists in and out of the studio, and I feel really blessed and fortunate to be involved with the industry.
I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. I've been in the music biz for roughly 15 years. I've toured the United States with a lot of big artists like Papa Roach. I've played the big festivals like Bamboozle, Rock on the Range, with artists like Drake, Paramore, Weezer, Snoop Dogg. So I've been around as far as touring goes. I've written just about 10 albums worth of material, and I've done hip-hop projects, I've done metal, and then I started mixing the rap and the rock, and I've been doing it for a while, and I consider myself a producer first and then a songwriter. And I care a lot about sound sonically. I care about how it sounds, the quality, and I take all my experiences obviously and it translates into the studio, and I try to help other artists find themselves, find their true sound, and I try to get their product sounding how they want, and at the same time make it sound professional. because there's a fine line between how they want it and how a professional record should sound. So we try to guide the artists and the clients and make sure they have something that can help them take the next step in their career.
Here at Polaris, our main focus is that team attribute. We're basically forming a team of super talented dialers, producers, engineers, and even live guys. We're taking these bands on the road, so not only building them from ground up in the studio, we're actually production managing and tour managing for these artists and trying to getting them out there in the world. What I've done is create a pipeline in the industry to be able to have a gateway for our artists to go to. Windsor's a small town. It's tough. It's tough to get out there and brand. Well, going on the road for these famous artists has allowed us to have that direct networking and to bring our artists to where we need to get them.
Here at Polaris Recording Studios, we have a number of vintage recording gear specifically used in the tracking room, such as an Ampeg guitar amp that I've only ever seen used in London, England, a studio in London, England. We have a Hammond B3 organ and a Leslie cabinet that we spin up all the time. We have a grand piano, completely serviced, always in tune. We have a honky-tonk piano that's just absolutely grand. And we rounded off with a custom Pearl drum kit and a set of custom Zildjian cymbals that just sound absolutely great.
George started something that's very honorable. George is a very well-respected man as far as a businessman, a family man, and as a musician. And we want to continue that. We want to continue the legacy, and we want to make him proud, and that's it.
I've been doing this professionally since I was 15 years old. Obviously, bumping tape with my dad and watching him work throughout his life has been great. And I finally took the steps when I was in high school at 15. I took music seriously. I took recording, engineering, learning the business, learning how honorable he was at business and respectable. That was important. He was a great role model, and he's forced me into believing the positive way of life. There's no fast way of making $1 million. It's blood, sweat, and tears. This industry isn't for everybody. It's not all glorious, but I love it. I love everything about it. I love being 2 feet in, and there's no other career for me but this.